Welcome to Studio 11 Style and Find It. We are in the studio right now, and I'm really excited because Tori's in town, and she's going to join me on this episode of Find It. We're going to talk about a few things that's about what today represents. It is 9/11, and then we're going to leave that and talk about other topics, but I felt like it was needed. And so before we bring Tori on the screen, I'd like to let you all know that this episode and Find It is sponsored by Studio 11 Style. This is what we're showing right here is an app. I am an online boutique. This is Tori. It's an online boutique. I am open one day a week for locals to come try stuff on and come and see me, which I love. But the majority of the business is live streaming and showing you the clothes, and a team of women help me do that I'm so grateful for. But the way we connect is through this app. It is free. It is in your app store, Studio 11 Style. This is a picture of Tori and a pair of bibs that we have. A few more pair of those left. She is in Arizona walking through the town, and her friend snapped this picture, and I thought it was really cute. So there we have it. So right now, Lynn, producer in the back, go ahead and show Tori's intro, and then she will be right back with us.
She wants to be on my lap.
Come on, get closer.
She wants to be on my lap.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. So Tori is in town. She's with me. A little bit of mother-daughter time sharing with you. I see Trisha Harp is here this evening. Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Trisha.
Mama loves you, girl. I know you're tired, all the traveling you've been doing. Thank you. You're part of my heart. Thanks for being here live with us. You just really never know what we're going to get into and what we're really going to talk about. We kind of skim over, hey, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. But we are going to talk about some things. Tori actually pulled some cards with questions, and she is going to ask questions, and we can all answer them together. And then we're going to get the real deal, what she thinks, because we all know she doesn't necessarily hold back. But before we begin, today is 9/11. September 11th in 2001 I don't even really want to talk about it that much because it hurts. Like, it's so traumatic and just so sad. But I wanted to say what I was doing. I will never forget where I was, what I was doing on that day. Do you guys remember? I'm sure. If you're old enough, because she was 2. Mm-hmm. And so we were talking about it today and praying for all the families still to this day who have lost those that they love. And I said, Tori, I got to tell you, do you remember anything? She's like, no, I don't remember anything until she got older and then learned about it. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to get her impression of it, and from her perspective of it being after she was really aware. So I was at my house, and Tori was 2 years old. I had taken Dalton to school at Bishop Flaget, where both of my kids had gone, but she was only 2. And I was feeding her breakfast, and then my phone rang a couple of times. Yes, Trisha. Trisha's saying she remembers as if it was yesterday. My phone rang a couple times, and then I looked and I saw it was my mother-in-law calling me. And so I answered the phone, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And she goes, do you see what's going on right now? And I said, no. What do you mean? She said, go ahead and go turn it on the news. And I said, okay. So I had Tori on my hip. And I went actually into Dalton's room and put on the TV, and I was looking at it, and she goes, yeah. So she had not called me until the second plane had gone into the World Trade Center. And I was just sitting there going, oh my God. And it was like, almost like you don't believe that it's really happening. Like, you cannot wrap your brain around it. But what was even more disturbing for me personally was my husband, her father, Dalton and Tori's dad, he traveled so much when the kids were little with his job, and he was always in the air at least 2 or 3 times a week. And he had just left that morning, and his flight was during that time. Mm-hmm. And so my mother-in-law said, hey, have you heard from David? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And she's like, well, what time did his flight take off? And I said, it was like 8:45 or something, I think. So I kept trying to get a hold of David, couldn't get a hold of him. And it was like 3 hours later, to try to just make a very long, grueling story shorter. But he finally got a hold of me, and he was in the air when the attacks happened. So obviously the pilot in his plane had gotten the word they were grounding all planes. He was grounded in Atlanta, Georgia. He was on the tarmac for several hours because everyone was grounded. So it was just plane after plane after plane. And he said that he didn't know. When I finally got to talk to him, and I was so thankful that he was okay, I remember him saying that they kept circling and circling. And he said then when they got close to land, he said he looked down, he saw all these planes grounded. He was like, something is not right. Like, whoa.
He said that there were planes landing and just sitting on the tarmac.
That's right.
Like on like the runways.
Yeah, they were all, it was like a parking lot of planes on the tarmac. So then what ended up happening was he kind of got stranded there because when he got off the plane, he said he ran to Hertz. He went to Hertz really fast.
Everybody was trying to get away from the airports because they thought that there's going to be a bomb in the airports or something, or they're going to crash into the airports.
Well, no one knew. I mean, it was like
so
at that
they were
point,
trying
like,
to get
what
away.
else?
And Dad said he got in the car with one of his work buddies, or he found somebody who ran.
Well, what ended up happening, there was no cars available. Everyone else had gotten them before he got there because he was just going to get in a car and drive home. So what happened was there weren't any, and he ended up getting a hold of another guy that worked for the same company who was stuck in Ohio and needed to get back south. So he ended up with one of his work associates that he was meeting there, got in a car with him. He drove halfway to Ohio, and the other guy drove down with his rental car that he already had. And then David took his rental car and came back to Ohio, and the other guy got in the car with the other associate and went back to Georgia.
Hearing Dad talk about it is pretty insane. Since he wasn't like, obviously he was in the air. So it's kind of like he was in the middle of everything, like the chaos of just like in Atlanta and stuff. Mm-hmm. So hearing him talk about it, he said that like, he really thought for a second, like what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And he said that he learned about what was happening when he was still in the plane, sitting on the tarmac.
Sitting there, yeah.
And everybody was learning about it because people were
at that point were calling one another, yeah.
Yeah, and figuring it out, like what's going on. So I don't remember it personally. Obviously, I was 2. And you asked me today when I remembered learning about it first, and I don't even remember.
When it was.
I'm sure I was pretty young, probably, I would say 9 or 10.
I think you had to have been more like 5. Sure.
I don't know. I don't remember. I think that you guys tried to shield me from that. And then that was when everything was going down with us, like me. So like, I'm sure we weren't adding more trauma to the bucket. Like, Jesus, let her go. Let her have her own little trauma. But I'm saying that I learned about it, and I learned more and more and more about it. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories, like, and I learned just about how the history of it before it happened, and the bombing in the basement of one of the World Trade Centers. I got to go to the World Trade Center Memorial when we were in 7th grade at Bishop Flaget. So I think that's when it kind of like clicked that it actually happened. Because when you learn about history, it's different, obviously, living in it and then learning about it.
Sure.
And not being there.
I think that's true.
But yeah. I remember watching on Channel 5 News.
Yeah, I mean, I know Joe. And Joe's our funny guy, like my personal comedian for me. But even this, I mean, we can't joke about that. Yeah. I mean, it was, I can't even. It was pretty intense. Yeah. And then what was for me too, I thought, I don't know what is going to happen from here. What's happening to our world? What's happening to America? We're being.
Yeah. And another thing was like, watching the videos, like people actually captured it of them falling.
That I had nightmares about that.
That whole thing.
I still will now think about it. And
that whole thing is what really got me. Was the falling of the buildings. in the middle of a city like that.
Joe says, Debbie, it must be so difficult having a child that is so shy. It's like you have to pull the words out of her mouth. Mm-hmm. So true. So true.
So yeah, I don't want to stay on this topic for very long.
So I just want where I'm
Makes me
just
sad.
It is, but there's people that are still living with the loss and will continue.
Some people lost parents, and the other thing that blows my mind are the kids who said, like, I forgot my lunchbox and my mom was mad at me and she was going to go work at the trade center, and then like she made it to work late, and
that's what kept her from not being in it.
So imagine the survivor guilt. Like, things are run so deep with that. Like, it's not just the people who passed away and then those people that they knew.
The people who
survived it and like were like, oh my God, like, why did I?
Can't even imagine.
So that whole thing is
that's a whole other level of loss too. I just think that Susan Foley is saying not shy is what I would call Tori. Not shy. Well, she's not normally, she'll get chatty on here with you guys, but if you see her day to day, she's not a real big talker. Let's talk about the news. The new Studio 11 skirt I just bought. Picture me wearing it. I'd be more scared.
That's a nightmare. That's nightmare fuel, Joe. That's what they call that.
Joe would wear it with style, though. He would own it. I know one thing. He would be like, he would own it so much that everyone would want to start wearing that skirt.
Talking about Studio 11 style, what's new?
What's new
in the business? What's the thing that's going to be coming out in the next couple of?
Oh yeah, so I got to go to, and I've talked about this a little bit, and I'll probably talk about it more. I'm really excited. I was able to film a segment. Oh yeah, that's me in the studio. Thanks, Lynn. That's myself with the host, and her name is Elisa, and it's Good Day Extra in Columbus. And so I was invited to come and talk about my company and all the exciting things that go along with that. And I talked a little bit about the full brand, which is also Find It, and the books that I've written, and the other book with Marsh Engle that's coming out in 2025. So Susan wants to know, would he be wearing pumps with the skirt? He's not afraid. They would totally be Gucci.
Good. You're welcome.
You're welcome, Tori. Good job picking up the transition and running with it.
I could be a little newscaster or somebody. I can go.
Well, actually, in college, when they were like, the what color's your parachute kind of thing, like the testing to see what you'd be best at.
What color's your parachute?
I don't know. I read a book. Okay. I read a book a long time ago called What Color's Your Parachute? And it's like what you do all these quizzes and you learn about what you would be best in. Mm-hmm. But what was it called when you took that test of career?
I took it in Youngstown, at Youngstown State. They required everybody to take it, and they said that it was a 95% match for being an attorney. And I was like, at that time, I was still in fashion marketing, and I was like, I don't think I want to be an attorney. And it was also like newscaster and stuff.
Yeah, like a newscaster. She is really good in front of a camera.
Because I love public speaking, but yeah. Turns out I am going to be an attorney.
Turns out she just graduated from law school in May. She took we talked about this. The bar is not the bar exam. So she took that. It was a 2-day test. It's grueling. Mm-hmm. And she gets her results October 25th
at 8 a.m. And we were talking about this.
So I guess if she passes or fails, you're going to know, because she's full transparency. She'll tell you.
Yeah. So we were talking about this, and one of the messed up things that I don't know if other states do it, but I know Ohio specifically does this, where they will, instead of like sending you an email and saying you passed or you failed, the Supreme Court of Ohio releases a list of names on a public site, their public site, and they say, find your name. If you can't find your name, you didn't pass.
Oh my God. So I'd be like, I know I've got.
So can you imagine? And like Emily Preston and I went to the same law school, took the same exam, and she talked to her boss in Columbus, and her boss said, don't Control F and Control F. You can type in your name and it'll find your name. It'll go right to your name. Her boss said, don't Control F. Take the mental time to scroll to find your name. Huh. And hers is P, so she will have to scroll. I won't, because I will be close to the top. which my name will be on there. And I told Mom, there's no, that test, if you're thinking it does suck because all your friends know you failed, if your name's not on there. And I think the worst part of it is not failing. The worst part of that is like pity. Like, I don't like people.
Well,
pity.
yeah,
like, please don't awe me.
I
like,
probably won't feel sorry for you. I'll just say, well, you got to do this again. And
but other
that's
people
awful. That is such a grueling test. Like, who would want to take that again?
Yeah, if you're thinking of going to law school, I knew I'd have to take the test at the end, and I didn't think it was good. I don't like tests, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. It is that bad. Like, I tell people, the bar is that bad. Like, you will cry yourself to sleep every night leading up to it. It's bad. You have mental breakdowns.
You didn't cry yourself to sleep.
There was a couple nights where I was like, I'm scared. Like, you shaking in your boots. So if you're thinking about it, maybe second guess yourself for 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Just for a second.
Yeah, I guess. But
the test is grueling. It's hard.
Yeah. So I you guys, if you want to see, if I'll probably be able to share a link for when I'm on Good Day Extra. We did go off on a tangent a little bit there, so I'll go back to.
Yeah,
it's okay. We know when we're moms, it's all about the kiddos. Okay, so when you want to shift and change,
you should tell them how when you got. She was so calm and confident when she left, and I didn't really say anything to you.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, okay, she's fine. Because she does this all the time. She's in front of the camera all the time. She does like hosting things, like Dancing for Kids' Sake. Like, I thought you were going to be, when she got home, you said.
Yeah. So when I was talking to everybody, and I got to say this too. 2 of my friends that live in Columbus, Heather Popovich and Julie Brenning, they came to support me. And I know Heather, she's so thoughtful too. She was like, I want to come and support you, but if that'll make you nervous with me being there, I don't want to come. I'm like, no, I want you there. I would love to have you there. And these are friends from my childhood, and it's like they love me and I love them, and there's a loyalty there. And Heather did come, and she went into studio, and she was getting all teary-eyed and said how proud she was of me. And I'm so blessed to have these amazing girlfriends in my life. But was just chatting with everyone, and I was like, yeah. And then they're like, okay, Mike, sit here. And then all of a sudden it was like real casual until it wasn't. And then I was like, wait a second, I need a minute to think. And then all of a sudden, bloop, and hello, we're here with it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So at first, and this hasn't happened in a long time, I'm always nervous a little bit for everything I do. That's just who I am. I always get like a little woo, like nervous. This though was a level that I haven't felt in a long time. And when I first started talking, I could feel even my like a little bit of a shaky voice, and internally and in my own head there for a second. And you know how I do this with you too. When you were younger, I would say, well, you got to do this. You're doing it. So you can either do it well or you can do it and suck. So make your choice, suck it up. So in my head, I was pep talking me like, straighten up. You've got this opportunity to talk about your business. Come on. So I did. I straightened up. But honestly, if I'm being real, I will watch it with you and be shocked with what I say. Because I kind of like said everything, and I went in. I did say to myself on the drive up there, I'm like, okay, just speak from the heart. This is your business. No one knows it like you. It's part of you. So just speak from the heart. And I know that I did, but I really don't know all. I don't know. We'll see if it flows.
She threw it in autopilot and
threw it in, and I didn't black out.
I'm telling you, I blacked out at a couple of my speeches, and I don't. But here's the difference. Here's what I told you. The difference is, I'm good. I would not be good at that. Like, that would not be something.
Fine.
I don't like on the fly things because I do black out with those because I don't know what I say, and I sweat. I pit out, and
so there's some more.
So I'm like,
TMI. She gets sweaty pits. There we go, guys.
I mean, I have to wear a dark color if I'm going to do something that's nerve-wracking, because you will see me sweat like a man. You, on the other hand, you're good with that. I would freeze.
What was that, Lynn? Something popped up on my screen. Like it was, what was it? Did you see it, Tori?
I didn't see it. I was looking at you. But I'm proud of you for doing it. And I kind of wish I was there, but at the same time, it seems like you had your own little
Yeah, I loved that they were there, and it makes me feel so good inside that I know I have really strong, badass women rooting for me and really want to see me succeed. Now, I also am not delusional into thinking that everyone wants to see me succeed. I know that that's not true, but I do choose. And sometimes it gets you a little it gets you a little pain there when you know and you see some things and you're like, ooh, ouch, they are not a supporter. And I would think that they would be, and that hurts my feelings, but I don't lie in that feeling because I then focus on the ones that I know love and support me. And that's what I want to focus on. So I have so many people. I mean, I'm not saying hundreds of people, but I've got a good circle of people who love and care about me. And I am blessed beyond belief for that. So that's what I say, right?
Another thing I'm excited about is your watch parties.
Okay. Yeah. So we did. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. So
segue.
I am going to start doing this. So if anybody is interested, let's do it. Let's do it. Watch party. It's a watch and shop party for Studio 11. What that means is I have people from a lot of different states that are repeat buyers for Studio 11 style. And I've reached out to a couple of people. And the first one was Leah from New Jersey. And thank you, Susan. I reached out to her and I'm like, hey, and she has told me, she has texted me and said, oh my gosh, I love what Studio 11 stands for. I'd love to do something like this. And I came up with this idea where I have someone from another state who's a repeat buyer, and then they do a watch party and invite their friends, and they watch Monday night lives at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I will send the hostess who hosts this a goodie bag with only things that you can get if you host a party. So I sent her a goodie bag with fun little things in it. And then her group will get a discount and free shipping. And then I was able to stream them in when we were showing the clothes with all the girls on Monday night. And it was really fun and it worked out really well. So I'm going to start doing watch parties for Studio 11 with people that I would do it even with people who are local. If you're going to be watching it and you're from the comfort of your own home or whatever, we could still do even locals. That's totally fine. But the way I can grow my business, I feel, is these people in different areas of this United States who have somehow found me and they like what they're doing, what I'm doing and what I'm selling, then buying what I'm selling, we'll do watch parties. Yes, Susan, it was so fun.
Okay, can we get into the fun part?
Okay, so I guess we're going to do something.
So we're at 23 minutes and I feel like these are going to take a minute to get through.
Okay. Okay, so Tori pulled cards.
So I pulled about 5 cards of this wine barrel. Whining never felt so good. It's like you're supposed to do it. You see it? You're supposed to do it when you're drinking wine, obviously.
Not really.
And some of these questions in here,
that's wine, like wine.
I know, but it's like you have a glass of wine. So some of these questions in this barrel thing, they're dark. I was going through them. I went through all of them before this, and one of them was, how would you rather die slowly and with sickness or immediately in an accident? I'm like, Jesus.
Really get you thinking.
Listen, alcohol is a depressant already. What are they doing?
Yeah, let's get liquored up and talk about death. Can't wait. So these are a blast.
These are a little bit more lighthearted. I picked 5 that I liked. We discussed. So there's no surprises except for you.
Yeah, because I've done this before and I just pulled it without knowing what it was going to be. I can't remember what.
So the first one, so this one's juicy. The first one is,
I don't even remember what it is.
What are your thoughts on marriage? So coming from someone who's been married how many years?
A long time.
Like 30-some?
32.
32 years, and someone who isn't even close to being married. I will say,
what do you think about marriage, Tori?
My thoughts on marriage changed a lot from 18 till now.
You're 25.
I've never been, yes, I'm 25. I've never been super duper like big wedding, and I never like fantasized over getting married as a child. Would you agree with that? I don't ever remember being like, I wanted a boyfriend. I was like, I want a boyfriend, and I loved love, but I never was really like big into.
Yeah, you didn't like pretend like you were
like bridal stuff.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
Law school will jade you. You get a little jaded with learning about marriage in law school because it's really just a contract, and I think that kind of affected it did affect my views on marriage.
Well, you also worked in family law for a minute, and that was sad.
Yeah, and also marriage is hard. I think that my generation especially.
Why? Why is it any hard?
Well, no. I'm saying my generation especially. I didn't finish that sentence yet. That was a comma, not a period.
Oh, sorry.
That my generation just sucks at it because they give up, or they think it, divorce isn't taboo anymore. People get divorced all the time. I would know. I worked in family law. So
what do you think the percentage of divorce rates
they say
among
that
young people are?
I just read something yesterday that there are only 32% of marriages are happy marriages. People that are happy in marriages. So
what then, when you were younger, like 18-ish, you thought marriage for sure. And now what?
Well, I had a really good blueprint. It's all about how you grow up. People came into law school already like, really? My mom's been divorced and married, or my dad's been divorced and married, or I have one parent, or something like that. I came into law school being like, not so much.
It's not like
rose colored. No,
I mean,
but you guys really were a great, healthy blueprint of a marriage. So I thought, it's easy. Like, why are people...
And it isn't easy, and I'm here to tell you it's not. And David would come on here and say it's not easy either.
So I'm saying,
I'm so easy to live with.
But I'm just like, I guess I'm not opposed to marriage.
I get it.
But I'm not like, I don't have that rosy outlook on it anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, it's perfect and it's like dreamy and romantic all the time and all. So I think that's
changed. That's good not to have that. I will tell you guys.
But it also is like
my mom and dad. Think about me with my parents.
But listen, it's also like learning Santa's not real when you're a kid. It's like the magic is gone. Like, that's how it feels. It's kind of depressing.
Well, like, when you were in family law and you saw them fighting with the kids and
like when you're in law school, they're like, listen, some professors are like, listen, don't get married. Don't do it. It's a contract. If you love somebody, you stay with them. It's all financial contract. Don't do it. So I'm sitting there shedding a tear for my dreams that I had of marriage. So I think that the reality of it takes the magic away. And I don't know. I think that...
Do you believe in magic? Well, I think that you can believe in it. Well, yeah. It isn't like the movies. And Susan, I will tell you guys. My parents are like, what's the movie? I read the book, and then now there's
The Notebook.
The Notebook. So The Notebook, the Marvin and Kay show is seriously, my parents were Victoria, Cinda, and Deborah. Us three girls grew up with these two parents who were like solid. Okay, they had each. I mean, so that was like, you just thought that's the way everything was going to be.
That's what I mean by you and Dad.
Yeah. And so, but do you get where I'm going with that? So it can be, you can go into something thinking it's going to be easy. And my parents can tell you, now that we're older, right? They would say it hasn't been easy. We've had our issues as well, but we were able to communicate through them and still have respect enough for one another to continue to grow together and not apart. Mm-hmm. But you go and see mom and dad all the time, and you think it's just, they crack her up for one.
Great. They're great.
They're great.
So I guess closing, because I know, like,
so I believe that. I mean, for me, as far as if I believe in marriage, right? Is that what it is?
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on marriage are
okay. It's not all negative. It's not like I'm saying it's bad. No. I'm just saying that my view.
I'm not saying. No one's saying that you think it's all stinko poo poo. But what I'm saying is, if I were to give my thoughts on it, I think it would be just know that it is not easy, and it is growing and learning about yourself while also learning about your partner and working through things. It's not easy, but I definitely believe in marriage and magic.
Well, I believe in marriage too. I'm so
this cracks me up.
I'm still believe in it too. I mean, I wish Santa was real. That's what I feel about marriage. I wish that
Santa is real, and it's still real for you.
Okay, we're not getting off on that topic. We'll do that later. Okay, here's another one.
Wait a minute. Let's ask Bambi. Bambi, do you what are your thoughts on marriage?
She's confused. Can we please?
Okay.
What age do you believe? Whoa. My Lexi is dissing. What do you believe is the perfect age? Today, I answered
What do you
this
think
already.
the perfect age is?
Yes.
Well, you don't have a lot of numbers, digits, and years to compare to.
So a lot of people say their 20s are tumultuous and figuring it out.
What do you guys think? What's your favorite year?
What's your favorite age?
What's your favorite age?
But like taking it out of like personal, I think that I right now 25 to 30 will probably be my favorite time of my life.
So you're a reader of the future?
I think.
What do you think about 25 right now?
25 right now, my frontal lobe definitely closed.
Okay.
I think that I'm a little bit less of a pushover people pleaser. I never took shit in the first place. And I think I'm even more now. My circle of people has gotten smaller and more loving. 30. Yeah.
Nancy says 30. I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe last night. Yeah.
So I think that 25 to 30 will probably be a good, it's a good, like, not, you don't know what you're doing, but you actually, like, you're doing something, you know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think? What was your
so
favorite
you're
year?
Saying that
40s.
Susan liked her 40s. So what you're saying though is of all the years that you've had thus far, you feel like 25 is really good for you. You're loving 25.
Yeah.
So you love 25 more than you loved.
For the most part, from April, because that's when I was born, from April till now, my 25th year has been the happiest I've been in a minute. So I think that that's why, and there's so much happening for me right now. Like, I'm no longer have to be going to school anymore. I'm going to be starting my job. So I think that I'm biased based on the fact that I'm actually getting to start my life now.
Okay. So for me, I would say that in my 30s, that was a great time. That whole decade, until my father-in-law died, then that was kind of sucked. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was awful. So the reason I liked that time for me was because the kids were a little bit older, more self-sufficient. We were vacationing together as a family. It was fun. I was loving all the mom stuff that I enjoyed doing sports with them, helping with school. We had family dinners. We spent a lot of family time together. The 30s were really a good decade. Like, it was really good. I am starting to come into, yes, Sean, and now I'm starting to come back around. If I could, like, honestly, I'm really busy right now. I don't want to complain because I'm doing what I'm seeking out to do. So I'm doing it. I'm putting action behind a desire that I have. I've got a lot of things going on. Building a business, turns out, y'all, it's not that easy. So it's lots of time, lots of energy, lots of effort. But while I say that, I feel like as I'm getting more under this and more stable with it, I know that my future is bright. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm trying to stay focused on appreciating the moment right now too. You know what I'm saying? It's so hard. Just like when she was in school, she was so caught up with getting what?
I'm sorry to interrupt.
So I'm saying my 30s were my favorite, but I think I'm coming into a really good time.
How old was I when you turned 40?
So I had you when I was 29. So when you were 40, when you were 40,
you turned.
Oh God, here's math. This is not my strong suit.
Listen, I went into law because I don't like math.
Okay, so I went into law, so I don't like math. Well, I hope. Okay.
She's quick math.
So you would have been about 9, right?
I remember you went through
40.
You went through it when you turned 40. You got vertigo. Remember?
That's because you guys, when I turned 40, all my friends, we were all, not all my friends, but my group of friends that we all went all through school together, and we meet somewhere every 2 years to celebrate one another. Don't say that. So,
sorry, I didn't know.
And so we meet in different locations all the time. And when we turned 40, and we all had different birthdays right through the year of the 40th year, and we all wanted to be there for each. And it was one solid year, really, of the 40th year, that it was hardcore travel and a lot of, cocktails and things. And the last trip I went on was down to Miami. And when I got back, I was like, I had vertigo, didn't feel well.
I remember we thought you were going to die.
I had started getting, I had to go to a rheumatologist because my joints were swelling and aching, and they didn't know why. And honest to God, it was like an 8 month, and then no one could figure out what was wrong with me. 8 months later of just drinking water and resting, I finally came out of it.
Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, it took a toll on me, I guess. It was really crazy.
So you're saying your 30s.
Yeah. And I think that now, and we have a topic we're going to talk about. I got really angry with her. We're not saying what it is, but I did get really angry with her, and it's about age. So that's a whole other podcast, whole other topic. And I want her to be here, and we're going to conversate.
I said two things.
No, we're not. Okay. We're not talking about that. So yeah. Next question.
I say a lot of things.
Next question.
Okay. So I have 4 more, so we'll have to get through these a little quicker because it is coming up on time. I would say this is a quick one. I hope you've thought about this.
Okay, I don't know.
The thing you wish you would have kept from childhood. Have you thought about
it? I did. I took her down to use the restroom, remember. Forgot her leash, so I used a ribbon from my helium balloon, little skinny ribbon, tied around her stomach, walked her down, and then she jerked it and it snapped. Okay, but we're ready. Okay.
I will never forgive you for giving away my bunny.
I did not, you guys.
I had a purple bunny that I loved, and she got into her cleaning, and I think she got rid of it.
I did not. I would never have gotten rid of Bunny.
Well, where is she?
I don't know where she is.
I don't know where she is.
I don't know where Bunny is, but I did not get rid of her.
I want my purple bunny.
Well, I can't believe you still think about it.
Every once in a while, I get a teary-eyed and I think, where's my bunny?
Yeah, that bunny was with you during all those anxiety attacks that really kept you. I would have never gotten rid of Bunny. I don't know where it is.
We don't know where she is.
So the question was, what would you like to still have from your childhood? So I lost the Mother of the Year award again because she says I got rid of the bunny. Why couldn't it have been your dad that got rid of Bunny? I did not get rid of Bunny. Let's blame him. So I want my grandparents.
Oh, we were just talking about
grandma, grandpa.
Yeah. Oh wow. Now I feel like a piece of shit because I'm like, I want my bunny, and you're like, I want
a stuffed animal. I would love to be able to talk to them, get a hug again. I feel that I know they're around. I believe in this. My whole heart believes. I know they're with me in spirit, and I know that I'll see them again someday. But man, that would be really nice to have a big old hug. And yeah, love them.
Okay, we're gonna say that one to the end.
Susan. She still has her brother though.
Yeah. Would others say you're crazy or predictable?
Depends on the day.
So I made new friends in law school. I think I'm predictable because I let my emotions get the best of me. So if you know how I feel about you or a situation, I'm pretty much readable there. You'll know what I'll do next. But what comes out of my mouth could be considered to be a little crazy because I think that I just sometimes tell people how it is a little too much. And I think that I could use a filter. So I would say some people would call me crazy. Some people would call me predictable.
I hope.
The people who really know me call me predictable. The people who see me completely come unglued in traffic when I'm hungry or something like that would be
I felt crazy. So sorry for Cassidy. That was awful. I was sitting in the back seat. Tori was driving. And we were on our way to a nice dinner.
It was after mock trial.
We were going to the
It was after we had just won some. We got 3rd place in mock trial for the AG's office. And we were on our way to the Avenue to have a nice dinner.
A beautiful dinner. I was taking care of it and all that. And she was driving and it was terrifying. On the way there, the speeding and road rage. And Cassidy, God love her best friend was in the front seat. And I was like, Tori, stop.
Cassidy was quiet.
She never said a word. So when we finally got there, I was like, are you okay? You feel better? I mean, my gosh, that was ridiculous.
I couldn't find a parking spot.
You get like a man when you're hungry.
Oh, my dad calls me a bear. He's like, you're a bear when you're hungry. I'm in the red. I need something.
I mean, it's like crazy. It was road rage. It was awful. I was like, I hope to God you don't do this. You cannot drive when you're hungry. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was bad.
What's the question?
You said it. Are you crazy or predictable?
I'm predictable.
Stop.
Depending on the day. I mean,
yeah.
People may think I'm crazy, but
I
think I'm pretty predictable. I remember riding Robert. I think this is Robert. I remember riding with my father once, and one finger salute was out the window before I realized who I was with. Yep. I would be.
I haven't
lying.
Done that.
Oh, whatever. I know that's
window.
Better. Not out the window. Okay. So just go ahead. What's the next one?
If your house caught fire, see, look how.
Are you guys playing? Is anyone playing? Are you guys answering with us?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
With your house caught fire, what 3 items would you grab first?
So my God, 3. I didn't know this one.
This one's a surprise one that
Bambi. I'd have to grab Bambi.
Well, I have to think about my apartment.
Do we have? You mean except besides people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things.
Or
things or animals.
It
says items, so I'm pretty sure.
Bambi's an item.
So
you're a hot commodity, a mommy's little baby girl. Bambi for sure. I would have to grab the big photo box.
It's crazy. Well,
if I would
photo box.
The photo box. There's a bug on you. Oh my God, Tori, look.
It's a gnat.
And what else would I take? I would make sure that I had the wedding rings.
Okay. I would grab in my apartment now, not just in my house here. If I had money, I would grab Bunny.
Oh, here we go.
If I had to grab 3 things, it would be Omi, my grandmother's ring, probably a couple rings, my real ones. I'll lump that into one. And then I'm trying to think in my apartment what I really want to take that I have that I cherish other than those 2 things.
What about
probably my diploma.
Is your diploma at your house?
Yeah, now? Probably my law degree.
Okay.
I would grab her.
But you know what? You could get another one of those though. You could just tell them you need another one and pay for another one. But like pictures, you can't get those back.
I don't have many pictures in my apartment though.
Okay. So that's it. What's the next question?
Okay. The other question.
Are you guys thinking about what you would grab? I almost feel like you should.
Mother's ring, a family portrait.
Yes. Definitely, Susan.
There's Ken Walls.
Hey Ken, I miss you. I haven't seen you in so long.
So last question that we have planned is, would you ever run for public office? We know why I picked this one. Why or why not?
I would never, I always have been told never say never, but I can pretty confidently say that I would never run for public office. And if I'm being honest, it's because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle the stress of trying to. I think a lot of people are really good people that go into politics, and I think it turns them into something that they didn't intend on. I think that it's a lot of, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
I would say no.
Laura Bannister. Hey, Laura. She
talking
says
about
never.
My profession, being a judge would be like the highest form promotion for an attorney. I don't think I would ever want to be a judge. It's just too political in the way of it's like 75% political and then the other 25 is for like law and stuff. So I don't think I would want to do that ever, just because I can't handle it either.
And what is it though that we can being able to be passionate and really true to your beliefs, and then somehow over the years, like fighting for that belief, fighting to stay in your truth, and then having that pressure all the time by people who want to debate that, it would bother me. I think
it runs the same line along. It's like it runs the same line along as not wanting to be a celebrity. Like, I want to be wealthy and I want to be able to support my family in the future, but I wouldn't want that through like being a celebrity or a politician.
where you're on stage all the time. Like you're always seen. There's no privacy there.
There's no privacy. And it's just like,
that's true.
People are so mean nowadays. Like they just say things, So yeah, vulnerability would make it hard.
Oh yeah, it would be.
It would be hard.
Who said that? Vulnerability. Is that Tracy? Tracy Gannett? Oh yeah, vulnerability would make it hard.
I think I care too much about what people think about me to do it.
And you're getting better about that. I am too. I'm getting way better about that because I know a lot of times if someone has some way that they feel about you, many, many times it says more about their issues, but really not your own. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
I guess.
To me.
But there are some people, remember we were talking, we're kind of going off, but we have a little bit of time, I guess.
I don't know that there's a timer on it.
Talking about, like people not liking you. We were sitting, like we have these talks. We would be having this talk at home on the couch any other day. But a couple of days ago, I said, something about maturing and becoming a little bit more self-aware about my own flaws. I can understand why some people, there's a list of people that I'm like, if I were them, I wouldn't like me either. Like there are some people out there that I'm like, I majorly wrecked that situation and they've seen that version of me. So I'm sure that they don't like me and they have every reason not to. And that's hard because you're growing. Like I don't relate to that person or that thing that I did. But it's hard because you're like, that's the version of you that they know. And sometimes you got to let that go. That's really hard to do.
And if someone, that's really a good point and it's great that you take ownership of the things you've said or done in your past that aren't the greatest and understanding why someone may take offense and not really like you very much. So that's really good. That's great of you. I think that's good, being accountable. And there are going to be people who won't see you through another season and will not give you second chances. And sometimes we do judge a person by and why not, right? If you have an experience with someone and it isn't a pleasant one, well, you're probably not going to be a glutton for punishment and keep going in there for more. But many times people just have bad moments, bad chapters, seasons of life, or maybe they're going through something difficult.
Yeah.
And that isn't who they are solely. It was just a moment in time with bad decision making. So I typically give people more than one chance. I do, don't I? I did give people more than 2 times probably, just depending on what it is, because I feel like I'm not a perfect human being. No one is. And if I see value in someone and I understand and realize that they're going through something, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I can't take people not liking me for no reason, especially people who haven't met me.
Remember what Dad said? My dad said.
He said, I don't care if they don't like me, just don't tell me to my face. I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, they're nice to me to my face and don't like me. I don't care.
He's like, it's none of my business.
So he's obviously not a big conflict guy.
No, he isn't. My dad would prefer not to have any confrontations.
And I say that I like conflict sometimes with the job that I picked, but at Chipotle today, they didn't give me beans and I didn't stop them. I was like, I don't know.
So we had, that's funny that you said, so I said, after we drove away, she goes, after we drove away, she goes, and we were in the store watching them make it. Okay. And I'm like, this. And then she orders, we pay, leave, get in the car on the way home. And she goes, they didn't give me my beans. And I said,
and I was thinking about
what? I said, well, did you tell him to get? No, I just didn't. And I'm like, why not?
They let it go. And I was like, I guess
she goes, it's fine. I go, you wanted the beans. Why don't you just say, I want, she goes, I don't know. I'm not. Oh, I would have been saying,
that big of a deal.
And it's not it, but
I will tell you though, when we were on vacation in Arizona a few weeks ago and we were at a restaurant, Cassidy, I went with my best friend Cassidy and we stayed some of our time with her aunt and uncle who live in the Arizona Phoenix area. And they caught on to obviously Cassidy told them that I had dietary restrictions. They caught on to it.
Dietary restrictions, articulate your words. People were like, she has what restrictions?
Dietary. I can't eat dairy or gluten. Or soy. So when we would go places, Phil did this. They put cheese on my salad, and my salad before all this stuff came out, and I just wasn't going to eat it. I wasn't going to tell him, hey, I can't have cheese. I was like, guess I wasn't supposed to have the salad today. And before she walked away, Phil had to go, oh, she can't have cheese. I'm like, why can't I say,
that's the way, if you were my daughter, I would have, it is this.
And if it comes and it's what I wanted and it's cold, or it's what I wanted and it's like not perfectly made, or it doesn't taste like right, I will suffer through it. Because I don't want to have to say, this is wrong. Unless it has dairy or gluten on it or in it that I can't have and it's my main course, I won't say anything.
I
picked cheese out of something because I didn't want to.
I would just say, oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, hey, I want beans too. Or, oh, I can't have dairy, because you say before when you order, you say, I cannot have any dairy. Please leave the cheese off. Then they bring it with the cheese. You just say, oh my gosh, I can't have this. Remember, I can't have cheese. What is the harm in that? Like, you're paying for something and you want to.
But hey, if I'm hungry and you cut me off in traffic, you're going to get
it's weird to me when you pick, like the battles you pick are bizarre to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what else? Is this good?
I don't know. I kind of rushed us through these because I was like, I don't want to get to all of them, but we're done now. We're done now.
You reach over there and get Bambi a treat because she's been so good.
Yeah, she's been just chilling here.
She's a podcast dog. Yeah. She's a podcast dog.
She likes the Doberman food. Okay.
Well, let's be real. She likes the Doberman food. She thinks it's a treat because the Doberman steals her food. And anytime the food is where it should be, we have to put her food up on the counter because the Doberman's like, rah, rah, rah. And so she gets upset with the Doberman. So now she knows this is Omi's food and she loves having it because she thinks, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about today?
I don't know. I just think that if you want beans, they don't give you beans. You got to ask for them. And if you can't have something on your salad, just say, I can't have this. Could you please,
If I tell them before and then it comes, I guess it's just like, I don't know.
I just think it's bizarre. That doesn't even match your personality.
I know it doesn't. It's weird, isn't it?
My dad's like that, though.
Debbie, real quick. What about the special video?
Well, I will. Okay. Lynn, what would I do without you? Okay. So today, Tori played a trick on her dad, and he hates to be hates. Okay. I'm using a strong word. He does. He hates to be on social media. And so she played a trick on him where hold this camera just like this and take my picture. And it was facing him and it took him a second. And then she posted it. I'm like,
I deleted it.
Number one. Okay, that's good. But earlier today before the podcast, Ditzbang was playing with a game that it's called Find It. Tracy Carl bought it for me. And it's a game called Find It.
Were you recording me?
So show this. This is her.
Where's the pony?
Oh my God. She's got a law degree, folks, but she can't find the pony. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, I still didn't find the pony.
Okay, so that's what you get. All right. All right, you guys, love to all who have been joining us this evening with Tori and Bam. And we are reminding you to grab the Studio 11 Style app so you can join us for live streams and go shopping. Go buy some stuff, but only if you love it. All right, guys, have a great evening, and we will see you again. We will see you again next week, same time. Maybe I'll have a guest or maybe I won't. Life's really busy right now, so I'm trying to stay consistent with coming on Wednesday nights, but it may just be solo or with this gal. All right. Have a great night, everybody. See you next time.
That floats around me, keeping me